You don't speak Japanese, right?
No, I don't. A single word. I had the Japanese to English turned on.
以前、ウィルさんはアップルで働いていた。
Yeah, I started my career working at Apple on the Apple Watch project. For the smart glasses, probably the most advanced piece of wearable product. A lot of the other smart glasses were really trying to pack in a lot of functionalities. Are people really willing to wear them all day, every day?
これすごく軽いんですよね。
We wanted to be the Tesla, the OpenAI of the smart glasses field. Gonna be all these bigger competitors. There's Google, there's Meta, there's Apple. We have every right and every chance to becoming really the leading force.
ワンオンワンテック始まります。今日のテーマは普通のメガネみたいなスマートグラスです。で、今私がつけているのがこの Even G2 というスマートグラスなんですが、何がスマートなのかっていうと、このレンズにですね、ディスプレイになってて、今緑の文字でいろんな情報が出てきてるんですね。文字で翻訳して、それが字幕みたいになったり、AI のツールとやり取りをしたり、あるいは目的地までのナビ、ここ曲がってくださいとか、そういうのを表示できるようなディスプレイなんです。で、今日はこのスマートグラスを開発した Even Realities の CEO の方に製品のこと、会社のこと、そしてスマートグラスの未来のことなど、いろいろ伺っていきたいと思います。So, here's Will Wang, founder and CEO of Even Realities. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you on the show. Thank you.
Likewise.Yeah,
we both wearing the glasses.
That's it.
And we actually turned the translate features on right now.
Yeah.
So we have subtitle thing on our displays. So I'm gonna actually ask questions in Japanese.
Okay.
You don't speak Japanese, right?
No, I don't. Yeah.
You don't understand Japanese at all?
A single word, no. Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask questions in Japanese and you can just answer in English.
Okay. Yeah, I had the Japanese to English turned on now.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's do it.
Sure.
じゃあ最初にその Even Realities って会社と、その製品について簡単にクイックに紹介していただけますか?
Yeah. So to briefly introduce the company and the products, we're Even Realities.The company is founded in 2023. Our headquarters is in Shenzhen, China, and we have offices in different parts of Europe. So right now we have about like 200 people, mostly engineers, designers, product people. And we started selling our first generation product G1 last year. And ever since it was launched, it was actually a pretty good success compared to our previous expectation.So we were able to gather more resources, more recognitions, and which got us into where we're at right now, releasing the G2. And we're really confident that G2 is going to be a product that's providing really leading functionalities in this field. And that's also the mission of the company, that we wanted to be the leader of this smart glasses category.
Right.英語で言っちゃいました。日本語でやりますね。この G2 は出たばっかりの新製品なんですよね。
Yes, yeah. It just went online on the 12th. Yeah, so it's a really new product.
で、日本でも発売されたのかな？どっちだ？
Yeah, you can actually buy online now from our website in Japan, and also.We are just launching our first few retail stores, retail partners in Japan. One of the best optician shops in Tokyo called Junginza. Yeah, that's one of our major retail shops in Tokyo.
はい。というわけで今日は3つのテーマでいろいろ見ていきたいと思います。まず最初のパートが豪華なメガネはいらないということで、本当にだからこれ普通のメガネと同じような形ですごく軽いんですよね。で、こういうスマートグラス、いろんな会社から出てきているんですけれども、このファンシーって英語だとその豪華なみたいな意味なんですが、そういうものはいらないと、もっと気軽な言葉、デバイスにしたいということで、そこの意図っていうのを最初に聞いていきたいと思います。で、二つ目が普通に見えるメガネで何ができるのか 普通に見えますよね。これどういう機能を持っているのか、詳しく伺いたいと思います。そして3つ目が未来のメガネはどうなるということで、この先、まずこの第2世代の製品が出たばかりなんですけれども、これからどうなっていくかっていうことをいろいろ最後伺いたいと思います。はい。じゃあ最初のパートです。まずこの会社が創業するまでの歴史みたいなところを伺いたいんですけども、以前、ウィルさんはアップルで働いていたと。そこからこの今のEvenの会社にどうつながってきたんでしょう？
Yeah, I started my career working at Apple on the Apple Watch project. That was also my first time getting in touch with a wearable product. Yeah, and I think wearable product in general is just, to my perspective, it's just way more fun than all the other tech product because it's so diverse that you have the tech part of it, you have also the fashion part of it, and for some of it, you also have the health part of it. So all of a sudden, you're working on a product that has like multiple meanings. And also you can, because you're working on this, you can form a team that's also diverse enough that you have people from different background to bringing a really mixed and vibrant like culture. So that's where I decided I wanted to actually focus my career on wearable product. And at the time, we already somewhat agreed that smartwatch is a success, and glasses will also be a success because it's moving information even closer to you. It can potentially provide even more functionalities. So I think really early in my career, after I worked on Apple Watch, I was thinking, okay, it will be really cool if I can be part of a good smart glasses project. Yeah, so that's where I started to work for different companies. In 2018, I decided to leave Silicon Valley and went back to China and also worked for a couple of Chinese companies, Anker, Oppo, and Jimgo, who makes smart projectors. So at those companies, I was also trying to explore if there's any opportunities to form a team to build a good pair of smart glasses. And finally, in 2023 is where I feel like it's the time is matured, and also I have the resources I need to form my own team to build it. So that's where we're at right now. Yeah.
そのスマートグラスの可能性に注目したのは、改めて聞きますけど、なぜだったんですか？どこにエキサイトしたんでしょう？
Yeah. So for the smart glasses, I think meaning, like we said, it's also probably the most advanced piece of wearable product we can make. And for me, myself, I make glasses wear. I'm actually -6 myopia, so I need glasses every day. So I understand what glasses means to people who need them daily usage. And I just feel like glasses can carry much more meaning than just the normal pair of prescription glasses. And I personally see a lot of these smart glasses projects out there. I just feel like none of them are a pair of glasses I'm willing to wear. A lot of the other smart glasses or XR headsets or gadgets out there that we're really trying to pack in a lot of functionalities, trying to add sort of a lot of value to the users, but really forget the most essential questions. Are people really willing to wear them all day, every day, socially, right? I think that's actually the first thing we need to tackle before we talk about all the fancy functionalities. And that's exactly the route we're taking. Yeah.
で、この Even Realities という会社を立ち上げて、最初からどういう製品、具体的にどういう製品を作りたいと思って始まったんでしょう？
Yeah, so we just talked about the glasses part and the tech part. You need to really make them even. You cannot say, okay, I just make a pure tech product. I forget what glasses means to people. You cannot also do vice versa, right? So you need to really make sure it's a good pair of glasses, and on top of it has valuable tech. But then on the other hand, the display is providing you digital information, right? It's providing added value to you. But then again, you should also not let people forget or neglect the physical world, because that's why people put on the traditional glasses, the the original reason, right? Because you cannot see the physical world clearly, so you need the glasses to help you see better. So the glasses we're making should also enable them to do that. So essentially, the physical reality and the digital reality also needs to be even. Yeah. So that's exactly why, we call the company that, and we're really trying to push towards this direction. Yeah.
で実際その前にウィルさんがいたアップルとかメタですね、実は今日私持ってるんですけど、
there we go.
メタのレイバンメタというこれはスマートグラスなんですけど、これですね。こういうのも出てます。し、Google も最近サムスンと共同開発したそのヘッドセットだったり、スマートグラスっていうのをどんどんこう Android のね、エコシステムを広げようとしてるわけなんですけども、こういうものがどんどん出てくる中で、彼らとまともに競争するっていうことになっていくのか、なんかそのあたりどういうふうに考えてますか？
Yeah, for sure, we're gonna compete with bigger companies like Meta, Samsung, or even Apple, like when they launched their smart glasses device. And we take that really seriously because we know that you cannot really survive if you don't really grow fast enough. But at the moment, we think how we look at this industry and how we draw our roadmap is completely different than what the other players are doing. And we believe our roadmap is probably the one that's going to lead to the bigger success. Although it might start slower, but then it'll accelerate really, really fast.
でもビッグテックもこう気軽なメガネを作ることだって可能だったはずですよね。
Yeah, so for big tech companies, I think the tech part, obviously, a lot of them has like better resources. But then again, there's also a special part of the tech that even the bigger companies are not that familiar with. For example, if we're talking about the optical engineering part of things, even at my time when we were working on Apple Watch or working on other smartphone devices, we use the traditional panel display, right? So that is actually completely different than the display technology we're using here. So for them and for us, it's all new. It's all new supply chain, new technology, and you need to start a new team for it. So everybody is starting from the same starting point. So that's also why when we're starting from the same point and we're a startup, we can actually be more focused and move faster. So we were able to create this lead in technology, at least in the selected field, which is most important to us. But the traditional part of things is also important, right? How to make your frame aesthetically pleasing and how to make the lens really visually comfortable. So those are actually also industry that had a decades or even longer experience in making them, right? So like when we're forming Even Realities, we're also making sure we have that part of expertise. And those are also things the big tech companies don't have.
Okay. 次のパートに行きたいと思います。普通に見えるメガネで何ができるのか、このメガネで一体どんなことができるのか、いよいよ見ていきたいと思うんですけれども、今回この Even G2 とこの、実はですね、私ここリング、指輪をしてるんですよ。これでね、なんか操作ができるんです。
Yeah, I have it here also.
持ってますよね。そう。どういうふうにこの2つは機能するんですか？
Yeah. So the devices is all connected with Bluetooth wirelessly. So the glasses and the ring, they are connected, and the ring and glasses are both also connected to your smartphone. So a lot of the final compute is actually done on your smartphone. So that way we were able to offload a lot of the compute to the smartphone so that the glasses and the ring can stay lightweighted and also the battery can still last for longer. And then the smart glasses essentially provides you the display as a feedback on the information. And also it has, right now it has, on G2 we have 4 microphones. So it's always have the capability to pick up voice signals, whether it's me talking or people around me talking. So I was able to do the translation even in a noisy environment. And the ring, we have the touchpad area on one side of it. So when we're wearing like this, your thumb can just like really naturally tap on it and also swipe up and down to navigate. And then it also has health sensor inside. So it has a PPG to manage, to really monitor your heart rate, your HRV, your blood oxygen, and also it has a IMU to really count your steps, your calorie burn, and also it can calculate your sleep score. So all the like normal health vitals, we can also be using the ring to monitor. And then this data will be stored on the ring and also be sent to your phone and the glasses. So like other smart ring or smartwatch devices, you will have the health summary thing on your app. But then what's better on the glasses in this duo is you can also see your real-time health data really easily on your glasses. Yeah, whenever you want to see it, you can just double tap and you see it on your dashboard.
もともとはリングはなくて、今回初めてリングを出して、もともとコントローラーとヘルストラッキング、そのウェアラブルとしてあるんですけど、これがなかった時、つまり前の世代はここですよね。ここで、この後ろに、こういうのがあるんですけど、ここでコントロールしてたの。だけどいちいちこう手をこうやって取って煩わしいみたいなとこがあったってことなんですよね。
Yeah, so I think that's exactly the reason why we decided to introduce the ring. Like when we made the first generation product, we thought, okay, people might not want to control their glasses that often. They can live with control on the phone and then put the phone in their pocket and then the glasses running. So that's our assumption. But then ever since we launched G1 and people are starting to use it more and more, they wanted to utilize the glasses more often. And then they found that once they started to really wear them daily, they wanted to play with it, they wanted to control it, and every time they need to pull out the phone, it's just too troublesome. And then there are actually people buying third-party controller rings on Amazon, and the really like huge and not so pretty ones wearing on the finger to try to pair that with G1 to control it. So that's where we notice we really need to provide a better solution for our customers so that they don't need to keep buying the gigantic ones on Amazon.
で、いろんな機能があるので、それおのおの見ていきたいんですけど、まずこの Conversate っていう機能があって、これはどういうものですか？
So Conversate is our main AI feature we're trying to promote with G2. The inspiration also came from myself that when I was having a lot of these meetings with my colleagues, with the technical teams, with investors, a lot of time they will say stuff I don't understand, right? And I just need to pull out my phone and Google it, and then I just lose track of the conversation. Yeah, at the time I just felt like, okay, if the glasses can actually do that Googling for me on the spot, so I can actually be more engaged in the conversation, right? So that's essentially the inspirational thought of Conversate. So right now in Conversate, we have this functionality called AIQ, meaning when you turn on, the large language model is analyzing your conversation real time. So when you say something that potentially I don't understand, the AI will try to provide feedback or explanation for it. And as you use it more and more often, because you're also interacting with the AIQs provided, opening it, closing it, so the model will know more about what you know, what you might know, what you might not know, so it becomes more personalized. Also, it can summarize the topic for you in real time, because we've always been in those situations where the conversation has last for like an hour, 2 hours, and we just wanted to have a recap of what happened before. So that was also going to be there. And also, after the conversation, a lot of times we need to write the meeting minutes, right? We need to write summaries. Right now, I think the large language model is just perfect for creating those AI meeting summaries for you. So right now, after Conversate, all the transcription and the AI summaries will also be saved on your phone. So we think this feature is going to be really powerful for people who have a lot of meetings, who have a lot of important conversations, interviews. I think that can definitely help with you also, where you interview people a lot, right? So you just turn it on, and then all the stuff is saved.
なんかちょっとした カンニングペーパー、チートシートみたいな。
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah.
で、まずすごい面白いなって昨日から入ったんですが、もう一つがこの Even AI というので、これはだから、一種のEven 版のチャット GPT みたいなのをここで開けるみたいなイメージですか？
Yeah, so it's essentially our version of sort of ChatGPT or Gemini, where the agent is always standby. So whenever you say, hey, Even, and then it pops up, and you can talk to it and you can ask any questions. Also, you understand context, so you can just have a consecutive conversation with it. And like the conversation feature, it also gets more and more personalized as you use it more.
AI の処理っていうのは、これスマホの中でやってる、それともクラウドも介してる。なんかすごいいろんな機能反応が早いなって思ってて、そこはどうなってるんですか？
Yeah. So it's actually pretty fast, and it's running on the phone and connecting to the cloud. But then we also have like local servers at different countries. So so it's the service is actually pretty close to you. Yeah.
遠くのクラウドにアクセスじゃなくてもっと近いところで処理するような仕組みができているということですね。
Yes.
で、もう一つがテレプロンプト。これだから映像で見てわかるように原稿みたいなのが表示されてスピーチとかに使えるんですね。
Yeah. So teleprompter is actually one of our most used feature on G1, which was quite surprising to me because at the time I made G1, we launched the product, we were like, yeah, teleprompter might be useful, but who needs to really speak every day, right? Not that many people. But then we found out once you launch it, it's actually the best teleprompter experience you can get. Because if it's not this, it's your traditional way of having a teleprompter. Then it's fixed position, not like this, I can look at anywhere and I still have the script. And also it's not that editable, meaning if I wanted to change something, I need to work with the staff and they change it, they put it on the screen. Versus here, I can just edit on my phone.
Right.
And also with the AI, the script can follow where you're reading, which is really important. That makes the speech much more natural. Where you have the script, you just start reading and then the AI will scroll the pages for you, right? All those cannot be done on the traditional teleprompter. So that's also because of the reason it was really widely used by our users. And also once the users started using it, I came to realize there's a lot of occasions you can use teleprompters. Like there could be on stage, it could also be your conference meeting at your company, which is important. It could also be you're giving a proposal. You can also be at a dinner table. You want to give a toast. So there's actually a lot of ways people can use it. So that's also why on G2, we think with a bigger display now, you can actually have more lines. You can see a bigger script. And also with the controller, the ring, it also just provides much easier ways to interact with the script you have.
G1 で一番使われてた機能っていうのが意外ですね。スピーチするような機会が多い人がユーザーに多かったっていうことですか？
Yeah, that's actually we already found a lot of quite famous people using G1 on stage. There are people using them for their TED speech, multiple ones. There's also government officials using them on stage, facing interviews. Yeah, so I think it's a really powerful feature.
そしてですね、今我々が使っているトランスレート、翻訳ですね。本当にこんな風にね、ずっと出てるんですよ。お互いのところで。こうやって知らない言語で、喋れない言語で、僕は英語はわかるんですけど、話してても全然自然な会話ができるっていう。これもだから本当にすごいリアルタイムだなと思って、どうしてできるんですか？
Yes. Yeah, this is actually a big part. We're improving also on G2. The signal is way more improved. The microphone quality also, right now we have double this quantity of microphones on G2. And then also the backend services, the algorithms, the cloud services we're using. So everything is improved. So now I think Translate has for the first time got to a point where I'm really, really comfortably using them, like in foreign language settings, like we're having this conversation right now. With G1, probably it will still be a little bit struggling, but with G2, I can really just follow you easily. Yeah, you can sense like there's a less than a second delay, so sometimes I need to pause a little bit to understand what you're saying, but it's definitely good enough to carry out a good conversation. We actually had our press event also 2 days before, and then we had all the Japanese media and the KOLs coming and asking all kind of questions. At the time, I didn't even need the interpreter. I can just understand from the glasses, so which is really fun.
すごい。本当にこれはね、自然なんですよね。で、まだまだいろんな機能があるんですけど、これはナビゲートって言って、あれですよね。Google マップの、こう、ナビ機能がここに、まさに、いちいちスマホを出さなくてもいいよねって話で。
Yeah. So for the navigate, supposedly the main reason of having it is you can just not hold your phone all the time, right? Like when you're walking, when you're cycling. And I actually don't use it that much when I'm in China because I know places, right? I don't need to look at navigation all the time. But then when I'm actually traveling in foreign countries or cities, that's where I use them every day. For example, I'm not that familiar with Tokyo, and I've been to Tokyo like 2-3 times, but I just really love the city here. I love the scene, I love the food, and when I'm here, I just wanted to be immersed in the city, in the environment, in the people around it. So when I'm walking on the street, I wanted to really be freely looking at the street instead of, I'm still holding my phone. I've been to Tokyo, but like 90% of my time, I'm still on my phone. So that's exactly where I use Navigate the most. When I'm traveling in foreign city, I can still know my direction while getting immersed in the environment.
これダッシュボードはだからいろんなこういう情報がね、最初の画面出てくる画面ですけど、なんか時刻とかいろんな、情報が出てきたり、あとはこう通知ですよね。スマートフォンの通知がこう目の前で見れるっていう、ウォッチでもなく。
Yes, I think dashboard and notifications are also what people use the most, and also those are the instant value for the glasses, right? Because it just provides you much easier access to informations that you think might be important. A lot of people might think, okay, is it gonna be making me like mentally more worried about all the informations or having information overload? But it's actually completely different. At least like me personally using it, a lot of times, if I don't have my phone out, I have it in the pocket, I might get anxious, right? Because when I pull it out, it's going to be dozens of different unread messages. I don't know what's going on. So you just get this urge of constantly checking on it. But then with G1 and G2, you can actually filter and select to see the most information, most important information, like the most important apps, the most important notifications, and also the most important dashboard information to put on your own dashboard. So that way, I'm actually right now like can be living with less stress because I know if there's any important stuff, it's gonna be here, and if it's not here, then everything should be fine. And if there's something I want to really just check, like at a glance, maybe the health, maybe my stock portfolio, I can just very easily like activate it. And then that way I can just glance it and still get back to the real world, focusing on the real life instead of putting out the phone, check something, and then get drawn into the phone, right?
Right. まあ一通り機能いろいろ見てきたんですけど、でもね、やっぱその軽いのと、普通にコンパクトで、でもどこかにバッテリーもあって、で結構、ね、何時間バッテリーも長持ちするんですよね、確かね。で、これどうやって全部こう、ハードウェア的に、エンジニアリング的に実現してるんでしょう？
Yes, the battery life actually can last 2 days. And,
2 days.
2 days, yeah. We're definitely trying to get past at least 1 day because like for glasses, especially for people who need glasses for vision every day, that you cannot take your glasses off midday, right? I cannot say, okay, my battery is out, I need to charge it. And then if you do that, you lose your vision, right? You cannot see. So that's why we said, okay, it needs to be at least 1 day. But then again, like what if people use it more intensely? So we need to make sure the average use time is longer than 1 day. So that for most people, no matter how you use it, you should get past 1 day. Yeah, so that's how we're making it. But then on hardware side, like you said, it's just gonna be really hard because you are still trying to make it really compact, really small. So there's a lot of engineering effort we pour into it to make sure it's compact, the power consumption is as low as possible, like all the fine tuning on the signals, on how you process, on everything. So I think, yeah, I'm glad where we're at right now with G2 on this.
技術的に何が一番ポイントなんですか？この軽くて電池も長持ちするっていうのは。
Yeah, so we think there are multiple aspects contributed to this. First is the optical display itself. So you need to really make it power efficient. Like the micro projector needs to really beam out light that's bright enough. And also the waveguide, efficiency of the waveguide transmitting the light should also be high enough so that you can use the least amount of power to really light up the projector long enough throughout the day. Right? So that's actually a huge part. And then also onto the motherboards, what we call the SoC. You need to pick a SoC that can run really low power, but still provide strong enough compute. And there's also like pretty complex firmware development into it to try to unleash all the potential of the chip you selected, right? And then there's also the wireless communication. There's multiple wireless communication you're establishing with the ring, with the phone, and we struggled with that quite a bit on G1. We also have users say, okay, the Bluetooth signal is not that stable, and on G2 we improved dramatically on that. So our attendant performance is much better, actually multiple times better. And then also the algorithm of controlling the power distribution and for the wireless system is also much better. So right now we can actually keep a much more stable connection while at a even lower power consumption. Yeah.
バッテリーはこれどこにあるんですか？ここ？
Yeah. So right now the battery is in here, and then we also have the motherboards in here. So both sides.
ここにチップがあってこっちにバッテリーがあるってことですね。
Yeah.
確かに何か入ってそうなところってここぐらいしかないので。
Yeah.
で、ここは、そう、ちょっとね、ここに、ディスプレイあるなっていうのはわかるんですけど、この中にその光を出すものがあって、ちっちゃいなんかこう、ディスプレイがあるっていうことなんですよね。
Yeah. So the display is actually powered by a hidden projector here. So the projector is beaming out light in this direction. And then there's this whole waveguide lenses is carrying the light from here all the way to here and then into your eye. Yeah, so the lens itself, it doesn't run on electricity, but it's just the projector here is powered by the battery and then lit up, and then the light comes in here and goes out here.
これはだから技術的にかなりオリジナルのものなんですか？それとも結構今までなんか他のいろんな製品に使われてきたようななんか技術だったりするんですか？
Yeah. Almost all the technology we have on G2 and also G1 are our proprietary technology, and like we have all the engineers we need on different disciplines working on this stuff. Like so, everything is designed in house. And made by some are made by some of our partners. Yeah, but we're really proud on the technology that we were able to achieve. Yeah.
このディスプレイの特徴が緑の文字なんですよね、全部。それがかえってこうちょっと SF、サイエンスフィクションっぽさだったりとか、いうのがあるんですけど、この緑である理由っていうのも何かこう、なんかエネルギー効率とかが関係してるんですか？
Yeah. So yeah, the green, a lot of people have said that they think it's pretty sci-fi. It gives them like a retro sci-fi feel. Yeah, but yeah.
Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix, exactly. And a lot of people are also asking this question, like why is it green and can we do full color? So the answer is at the moment, green is just the most power efficient way of making it because we talked about we wanted to ensure the functionality is useful and you can use that throughout a day, right? It doesn't make sense to make a colorful display that can only last for 2 hours and at a size that's 3 times of what we have here. So we need to really make sure the size is checked and the battery life is checked, and then it provides all the like useful information. And at the moment, if we wanted to check all these boxes, the green micro LED solution is the way to go. And also for not only the sci-fi feel, but just for the functionalities we're running here, most of the stuff is can be done with just a single color, right? We're looking at the translation, the teleprompter, all these. It wouldn't make a difference if it's color or if it's green. And also green is actually a lot of people might not know that green is the most comfortable color for you to look at, because in the nature that you have, like the green is the most common color.
で、さっき私が持ってるって見せたレイバンメタのグラスは、あれはカメラもスピーカーもついてるんですよね。ただ、このEvenのグラスにはカメラもスピーカーもついてません。
Yeah.
これはなぜですか？
That's also a deliberate choice made by us that we think the product essentially, although comparing to Meta Ray-Ban, it's in the same category of smart glasses, but it's completely different two directions and also completely different two group of people who are supposed to use them. We think for Meta Ray-Ban, it's also a great product. It's really popular. A lot of people are using them outdoors, right? I'm playing, I'm having fun. I put it on. But for us, we're all more trying to create something like it's not only for your outdoor, it's for your indoor, it's for your work, it's for every day. So it's not supposed to be for fun. It's supposed to live with you every day and become an essential tool. And if you were to do that, it needs to be much lighter, much more comfortable, and also aesthetically much more well-designed than the other smart glasses we're talking about, right? And then you need to really think about the feature you add on it. Does it go against the principle of being everyday, being the essential tool, right? So then you can feel, okay, camera might be good for some like occasion when I'm outside, when I'm playing, but is that essential to be on your face like every single time, like when you wake up and also throughout the day? That might not be the case, right?
結局何を優先するかの問題だなって思っていて、例えば AI の機能を使うにしても、例えばメタだとかが言ってるのは、カメラがあることで、目の前に見てるものをリアルタイムに理解して、情報をAI で読み取って情報を教えてくれたりとかっていう用途にも使える。だから Google も同じようなこと言ってますけども、そこまでそれをするのか、あるいは、ある意味この Even G2 に出てくる情報っていうのは、スマートフォンを持ってなくても自然にこの情報を摂取できるようにするみたいなところだと思うので、目的がまず違う。だからそういうところの違い、優先順位、プライオリティの違いっていうのが多分出てるっていうことですよね。
Exactly. I think either Meta or Google you mentioned, they are still a big company that wanted to thrive on AI, right? So one part is they are also interested on how AI can help you when AI can see the world, right? So they just wanted to get the devices out there so that their AI can see the world, and then they can try to improve on the AI so that AI can in turn become more useful to you. But we are actually a hardware company. We wanted to make sure the product we're selling day one is useful for you. And if the camera cannot provide instant value to you or enough value to you, then we think it doesn't need to be on the product.
で、今回日本で正式に発売するのは初めてなんですよね。
Yeah, this the G2. I think this is the first time we really officially made our debut and also selling in the retail space. So the reason being, there's also like when we launched G1, it's kind of like a soft launch in Japan. We never really did a formal PR in Japan, nor do we have any retail presence. But then still, Japan was, I think it's our second biggest market, even in G1. That a lot of Japanese friends they just really love the product.
みんな宣伝とかなくてもみんなネットで知って 通販 EC サイトで買ってたってことですね。
Yes, that's actually what happened. Like we were posting on X, on YouTube, but mostly like English content. But then the Japanese friends, they just found the product and they started translating it into Japanese themselves and starting to really circulate it. And a lot of people starting to know G1. And then when I came to Japan last time, we met a lot of fans and a lot of friends, and they really loved the product. And it came to me that Japan really needs to be our probably most important market, that we need to try to spend more time, try to service our customer here well, and also work with more retail partners to bring the experience to more people.
なんで日本のユーザーそんなにこう何もしなくてもついてきたんでしょうか?
I think first thing is Japan people really have good aesthetics taste and also good technology taste. And that's actually kind of rare. Like if you're talking about in Europe, most people also have really like good aesthetic taste, but then they might not be that caught up on tech. But then on the US it's the other way. But I think Japan is most Japanese I met, they have a really well blend or even understanding on the aesthetics and also on the design and also on the technology. And that's exactly what we're trying to achieve here. And that's also where we have a lot of Japanese customers. They're also business professionals. They need to deal with informations all the time, right? They need to have translation features. They need to go on stage, teleprompter. They have all kinds of conversations. So all the features also makes a lot of sense for Japanese people. So I think those are probably the main reason. Yeah.
なるほど。ありがとうございます。ここで最後のパートに行きたいと思います。未来のメガネはどうなるということで、ちょっと未来の話を聞いていきたいんですが、まあ今 G1、G2、第2世代の製品が出たところだと思うんですけど、こう、Even という会社として、このスマートグラスを今後どういうふうにしていきたいか、どういうロードマップを今描いているのか。で、このスマートグラス以上のカテゴリー、それ以外のカテゴリーにも広がっていくのかどうか、そのあたり聞かせてください。
Right. So yeah, I think we are still focused. We wanted to be the leader of the smart glasses category. And along the way, obviously, there will be different accessories or different form factor of products we need to push out. But that's, for example, the ring. But it's all going to be revolving around the smart glasses category. And that's where we wanted to make sure that we are the leader. We wanted to be the Tesla, the OpenAI of the smart glasses field. And we also know that there's going to be all these bigger competitors. There's Google, there's Meta, there's Apple, all these bigger competitors. But at a industry that's this disruptive, we think we have every right and every chance to becoming really the leading force. Everybody have heard the innovator dilemma, right? And then that just happens all over and again in different fields. With that vision in mind, instead of creating all sorts of complex product line, not knowing which one we're going to hit, we are really focusing on just iterating the G series, which we will continuously upgrade the product line. We'll have G1, G2, G3, and G4 and G5. Might not be each year, but we'll make sure the team is really working hard to put out the most advanced hardware at any given time.
ちょっと最後に聞きたいのが、で売り上げとかは今開示は特にしてない。
Yeah, so right now we are not telling exactly how much we're selling for like confidentiality reason. Yeah, but what I can say is G1 is already like multiple times of our original expectation, and then G2 is again surpassing our expectation. Although it has only been launched for a couple of days, but we're seeing like really strong momentum because I think people are also understanding the upgrades we're making from G1 to G2. There's also a lot of customers who didn't buy G1, but they were intrigued by the idea. They can see themselves using the glasses, but they were kind of scared about us being a new company and also G1 being a first-gen product, because all know that first-gen product coming from a startup, it will not be perfect, right? You will have a lot of issue. So a lot of people are actually waiting to see if we can get to second generation, where we really polish the product, really make sure what doesn't work, or what didn't work on G1 is working now on G2. And we actually made those improvements. So we just can't wait to deliver the product into people's hand.
ユーザー数が今これぐらいで、今これぐらいで、ここまで広げたいとかってそういうのってあるんですか？
Yeah. So we wanted to at least, we say like 10x or 20x our customer base through G2. So it's going to be a much more ambitious expansion plan on selling G2 because we're also more comfortable with the product. We're also more confident with our engineering capability, our supply chain capability, also our service and logistic. So we feel like it's a good timing for us to expand the business, try to get G2 into more people's hand.
OK。はい。いろいろ伺ってきましたが、ありがとうございます。
Yeah, thank you. Really nice of being here and being able to communicate.
はい。これまで、Even Realities CEO の Will Wang さんとスマートグラスについてお届けしてきました。本日もご視聴ありがとうございます。ワンオンワンテックではこれからもいろんな注目のテックストーリーをお届けしていきたいと思います。ぜひチャンネル登録と高評価、そしてクロスディグの公式 X のフォローもお願いいたします。So, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming well.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.